Meet Christine Espinosa-Erlanda, Associate Director at Godwin Austen Johnson, a seasoned architect with over 20 years of experience across the Middle East and Asia. Holding a Master's in Business for Architecture and Design from IE University in Madrid, she blends design expertise with business acumen. Recognized among the region's most influential architects, Christine is also a mentor, speaker, and advocate for women and young professionals in architecture. On this episode, we go beyond Christine's remarkable career to tackle some tough questions. Why do biases around nationality still exist in certain roles? And why are women in leadership not always afforded the respect they deserve? Christine, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I was looking at your LinkedIn.
Yes.
You've been 18 years with Gash.
Yes, this is my 18th year. Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Can you
thank
talk
you
us
so
through your
much.
career journey, please?
Okay. Such a long one. But before joining Gaj, I was working as an architect in the Philippines for 4 years already. Maybe the career journey, I would say it's not straightforward. It's more of a winding and looping kind of thing. Starting off in the Philippines. While studying university, I use my summers to work in site because I have a cousin who's a contractor, and I use that and attend. Go on site, measuring, doing scale models, doing some plans. Everything at the time was manually done. Like, I was in that generation who does things manually, no AutoCAD. Everything from rendering, graduating, and then I took the board exam because for us, we are required to have 2 years, equivalent to 2 years of site experience and office experience before we can take the board exam and take the licensure examination. We have to pass that. And luckily for my part, I passed it on the first take. It was a good grade, I might say. And once I got the license, I was already working for a small boutique interior architecture company where there were only 4 of us, and we do everything from detailing to site inspection to small kiosks in the malls and small villas for our clients, luxury clients. And then I moved on to an international company. I moved on to Arquitectonica International. We had the Manila office, which until now I'm very much connected with them. They're very nice. So I can't remember how many years I've been with them. And then, we worked on international projects in malls. I was part of Mall of Asia, which is one of the largest mall at the time in Asia. I also worked on luxury apartments in Singapore. I was a project architect there. And mind you, I was young, like really young. I was one of the youngest project architect, but And I also worked on offices in Singapore and even projects here in Dubai at the time. I had to decide to move to Dubai during the time when we had some financial issues at home. My sister is at university at that time. And then my brothers have their own families, so it's just going to be me as the breadwinner of the family. Then I have to do something about it. And then I tried to apply, since I have the international exposure as well, working and liaising with our clients who are outside of Philippines. So I tried on. And true enough, even the company Arquitectonica at the time told me, anytime you want to go back, your desk is still here, it's still open for you. But they are also very supportive. They tried to stop me, but it's just that the need for me to step out of my comfort zone and support my family. Because even up to now, I'm the breadwinner. Was larger compared to the need to be comfortable. But when I went to Dubai, I didn't had any background of how expensive it is to live in the country. And that was 2008.
So you moved to Dubai before getting your job? You moved to Dubai then searched for a job?
No, I was hired from the Philippines, and then I moved here. And it was from a different German company.
Okay.
Within 2 months, I realized that the culture was different because the company that I'm from in Architectonica is very tight knit. Like our bosses would have like karaoke nights. We would have in the morning, we would have breakfast, nachos. So that's how close it is. And I remember doing overtime, and my colleagues were not part of the project, but they would just stay just so I'll have someone in the office with me talking in the background so I'm not going to fall asleep or what. But that's the kind of culture that I'm used to. And even the first company that I was with, it's there's only 4 of us. We cook dinner, lunch together, anyhow. So that's the kind. But when I moved to Dubai, the culture was different. Like nationality-wise, they don't speak to you that much. That was 2008. Was at a time where there's not much. When you speak Arabic, you would speak Arabic with your Arabic friends, and you won't really mingle or interact directly with other nationalities. At the time, you would see Filipinos separated from. There's not a close interculture relationship at the time. So I left that company. That was a German company, but they were kind enough to let me stay in here until I find a new company. And then I went to Gaj. During my interview, I was just this tiny little girl. I felt that I was. And then everyone was like, have you had coffee? And Gaj was in a small office in near Lamsi Plaza at the time with Meta. And I came and I was really welcome. There was just the interview. And this was 2008. For everything you see, the newspaper, this was this thick. It was filled with projects and hiring, recruitment, a lot of job offerings. And then I felt at home. There was a Filipino who was at the time, was senior, and was like, what do you need? We're here. I hope you passed the interview. During my interview, it was really funny because during that time, I had visuals renderings, and I hid all my hand sketches at the bottom because I didn't know. Coming from Philippines, you would think that they're advanced. They wanted to see nice visuals and renders. So that's what I've did. And then they were interested in my hand sketches, which I hid at the bottom of my portfolio. And then when I showed it, I was asked during my interview, are these your hand sketches? I said, yes. And the interviewer left the room for a while. And then apparently they saw, and I was told, why were you hiding it? This is what sets you different.
Oh, wow.
And then after that, received a phone call that, we'll welcome you with Gaj. And then, that was... And then I entered as an architect throughout the years. 18 years passed by, but I would always tell all the colleagues that I have, even now, that it felt like it was just yesterday. Because although it's not just me who's 18 years, a lot of my colleagues have been there for 20 and even 25. So me, if I say I'm 18, I'm also one of the new ones. And it was a real journey. So in the Philippines, I learned grit. And then Dubai was a starting point where I was heard, my ambition. I was able to build on my passion. I was able to have my reach. Through that, within that 8 years, I skipped positions within the company.
So can you tell us the positions you had and the promotion? How does it work? You started as architect, not junior, right?
Yes, I joined as an architect in the design team.
Yeah.
Designer, architect for the architecture team, worked on hospitality. After that, I skipped the senior architect position.
Okay.
I also skipped the associate. I think I became an associate.
Yeah.
And then senior associate. And then associate partner.
Okay.
And now the associate director.
Wow, congratulations.
But all throughout that career on the side, because there was a time where recession came in. And financially, it was difficult. And because I know...
There was maybe 2 crises, right?
Yes.
2009 and then again...
2009 and then somewhere...
14.
Yeah, before COVID, there was some challenges
also
already.
2020, yeah.
And then... but the thing with me is when I came from Manila to Dubai, I had no idea how expensive it is in here. So the salary expectation that I had was not that high.
Yeah.
So I know how to budget and I know how to think about how to squeeze myself in. And for years, I had that, thinking that, okay, I can get by. I was telling earlier that, yeah, I was trying to budget 20 dirham that I had to fit it within 1 week. Like, okay, I may be having one chai or shawarma, just few dirhams. A kilo of apple would last me one apple here, one apple there, egg, boiled egg. That I could
That's so
just...
interesting, because when we see you, we think you are just born successful or
Oh,
coming
no.
from a rich family. And it's
Oh, definitely.
like we discussed that, like even your driver was telling you how the rent are very
The
expensive now and
partitions, yeah.
everyone's struggling, and you've been there.
I've been there. I know. So it's maybe my humble beginning that keeps me grounded. Even now, I speak to anyone. It's not like I choose to speak to anyone. They would
You want
see
to
me
include
here,
everyone.
but it's because I know what they're going through, and I've been there. University-wise, I was able to study university. My parents couldn't afford to send me to university, so I had to do my best, get full scholarship with the university. It's with Pamantasan Luzon, Manila, and then at the same time, I was lucky enough, because of the high grades that I have, I got a sponsor. In our church, there is this scholarship project. It's Una Mano Aiuta l'altra, which translates in Italy that one hand helping another. So there are Italian sponsors that are sponsoring Filipinos, particularly in Tondo. As I mentioned, I came from Tondo. Tondo is one of the poorest cities or areas within Philippines, I must say. But this Italian benefactors, sponsors that helped me out to graduate in a university really is a huge thing. My mom and dad did not earn that much. My dad doesn't have that stable job at the time. He's a driver. He passed away, but yeah.
My dad was a driver too.
Yeah,
He's still
right.
the
Public
taxi driver.
And so I'm really close to whenever there's a taxi, I take
Yeah.
taxis and I will talk to the driver. It's because of that. My mom is a cashier in a clinic, in a public clinic that's run by nuns. So this is how close we are with the Catholic. We have nuns looking after us, and also the priest who help me and my family, my brothers, to get through university. It's not as easy because we have to budget. I remember my parents budgeting the amount that they get at the end of the month to my brothers, all of us, my brothers and I, and my sister as well. My sister was so young then, but I remember we had to budget money to allot for school projects. That's how it was. Like, maybe it's your turn. My brothers and I had to get scholarships. Oh, it's thank God that maybe inheritedly my mom and dad were smart and intelligent, so we got that, and we learned how to work hard and work smarter with the use of our time. So my brothers had scholarships with I think their scholarships is about sports. My brother is into football. The other one is also into football and table tennis. While me, I've got academic scholarship. So I had to keep that and make sure that my grades are there so I don't lose my scholarship. And
But that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is thousands of Filipino from Tondo.
Tondo,
who wants to succeed as well.
Oh, yeah,
And
definitely.
not all will have access to the scholarship. So how did you make yourself... I mean, you said because you're smart. Only the brilliant one will be able to get out of this poverty?
I think it's not just when you are brilliant. I think you also have to deliver and do your part. And we were lucky enough to get a scholarship. We applied, and then they had the screening. They screen through how much the household earns. Obviously, the service that we do for the church as well, and my parents working for nuns and priests at the time, so that there's an advantage for that. But at the same time, they looked at the household income, which is very unstable. And with us all four studying, 2 brothers already in university and me entering the university, I was a bit known already at the time because I kept on yearly in elementary. I would end up getting first honor Like there's a ranking in every year grade, and I was given the outstanding elementary to primary student by the city of Manila when I was young, and that was many years back. So I had that in me, and I
So
prefer.
it's hard
Yeah,
work.
it's hard
with
work
a
and
bit
have
of
consistency in
consistency.
it, and I'm passionate about work. And I remember when I was young, I was always left alone at home, and I would do hand sketches on the walls of our. Yeah, it was a small unit. It's that my parents were renting. I was left alone in my bed, and I had pieces of chalk, and every afternoon I would sketch and draw using the pieces of chalk. They would allow me to. It was bare concrete, and then the colors were just my drawings, and then I will explain to them, this is what I dreamt of this afternoon. That's it. And yeah, and then I said there has to be something more.
So now to all those kids in the Philippines dreaming to succeed,
Yeah.
what are the steps to follow? Because you did say hard work, you did say a bit of, it's
Yeah.
kind of, maybe you were already dreaming as a kid,
Yes.
already doing your drawings,
Yeah.
perseverance. Can everyone succeed? Is success for everyone?
Only for those who aim for it, I think. Because success might be, you can define it differently for any person. Whatever, for example, for me, I feel I'm already far, but it's still not far, right? For others, they may see, yeah, she's successful in this way, but for me, I'm still far off. I might, yeah. When I was young, I never thought that I'll be where I am today. And I never thought that my voice will be heard at this level. Because, see, when you go internationally, you think, oh, Filipino. And then, oh, everyone speaks nicely. Everyone has this nice accent. And there was the feeling that I don't belong in it. But somehow I just had to be consistent in what I do, and I stopped comparing myself with everyone else because I see that my uniqueness is something that is being accepted. So I started to embrace it. And also when you come into a certain age that you don't really care about what others think of you, and you're just fulfilling in this is what I want to do. And it's for the kids, for my kids, I have to pivot something. When I think the major part of me, a pivotal moment, was when I had my daughter. During the time that I had my son, yes, I'm doing good. I'm doing well, but I prefer to be behind the scenes. I didn't want to be in front, although I've been doing wherever we were at the presentation. I've been told by one of our seniors that this is our secret weapon. Christine is our secret weapon. We won't show her to the client, otherwise she'll be bombarded with a lot of things. But when I had my daughter, and I was reading through all the successful stories, and you think about how come there's not much paved ways for women. And this is why I thought I have to do something so my daughter will have more access to opportunities. When I had my son, I didn't have to worry about him accessing opportunities, because where I am in a male-dominated arena, right? Architecture, and somehow behind my mind, I've already accepted that it's a male-dominated arena, and I've already accepted that if I do something, it has to be 2 steps ahead of my colleagues, because that's the standard that I'm working on. Success might be how you define it. For me, success now is if I get more time with the family, with the people that I cherish most. That's it. And if I get the time and memories I create with them, that is success.
You mentioned success is not the same for everyone, and you mentioned you are not yet where you want to be. So where do you want to go?
It's an interesting question. It's something that I haven't really defined yet, but I'd see that there are things that I still want to do more. See, over the past years, I've tried to be an entrepreneur. I have succeeded and failed.
Tell us about it. We want to know.
So yeah, as you know, I went the career was like when I was here in Dubai, and then I took masters in Spain after 18 years. After 18 years, I went to Spain to study masters in business for architecture. Daytime, I'm running projects. Nighttime, I'm attending classes. I'm thinking about business strategies. And then, of course, after graduating, and then I was running my kids, to schools, and you have family life, juggling all of it. After that, finish it, I had the courage to start on a business. So I found a business partner. We opened a cafe somewhere in Udmetha. 1 year passed. It's a healthy food cafe within Udmetha. 1 year had passed, and we had to close it. It's not that it wasn't accepted, but my partner at the time decided to move to KSA, and then I was told, yeah, maybe that's something that is this something you can buy the whole share and then run it by yourself? And obviously, no, I could be behind the scenes, but not really because I'm still holding this position. But we had a good run. The business was really well. Got negotiated some contracts here and there, offices supplying healthy food, salads and all that. But it wasn't that easy because there are, for example, deliveries would charge you more. Aside from the small earnings that you get.
So what did you learn from? Because you mentioned it's a failure, but it's not really, because you said there was
something. Yeah, it's because it's not really a failure. It's a break even. Whatever I invested in, I got back. That's it.
And what
but
did
the
you learn
experience
from
behind that, it's a lot. That food business is not as easy as it is, even though you had the nice food, because you have to think about a lot of things. Marketing would be a huge part of it because you have to get your brand out. Delivery, market might be earning more than because they would charge a higher amount compared to what you are offering already, which you have a revenue of a small profit over it. Registrations you would have to rent, and also you would have to get the market into the cafe, not just rely on delivery. A lot of things in that. And partnership is not that easy. Some of the partners might be difficult to partner with. So I've been very lenient with my partner at the time, and just, it's okay. Just keep on running, and then I'll help out with promoting it and telling my network that, hey, we have this, we can deliver this, and there's this package menu. But it just came to a point that we had to stop it and then do break even, given that life is also happening with them, that they have to shift to a different country. And obviously, that's not something that I can maintain. On another side, I also invested, and there's a resort in the Philippines, which is quite successful. So this one we planned out before in 2019 time, which is crazy because 2020, you would question yourself, like, do we continue? It's COVID, and is it really a good opportunity when you should be holding your cash and everything in that time? But that colleague was someone that I met through financial literacy trainings that I had in here. Because I've told you, when I entered the company, I didn't know that Dubai was that expensive. So I had to fit in everything within the small salary that I had and plan out the food, write down all. I have my receipts. Even if I share a taxi for 12 dirhams, we would divide it to 6, that every cent counts. And so I learned how to value the money that they earn, because it's not that much. And I had to consistently deliver to get promoted, which paid well. I think it's now but I came from that starting point. So the people that I met, I entered into financial literacy trainings. I learned how to invest in stocks. I learned how to manage finances. I learned emergency fund, building my own pyramid of financial stability. And which is, I am already on different steps, but I'm still looking for more on that one. But that alone, during 2019, some of my colleagues at 2020, some of the colleagues went back to Philippines for good, and that's when we started off thinking about this Airbnb type villa that could be rented. It's named Green Sanctuary, and it's in Bulacan, and recently it's major success. Weddings have been done. It can accommodate 30 people, several rooms in. You have karaoke, which Filipino likes. Billiards, basketball court, and a huge kitchen for gatherings. So it's been used for celebrations, company training. So it's a good business. So you have the food.
Did you bring
is
your
quite
colleague there?
challenging.
Guys, company training.
Not yet. Maybe if we travel to Philippines. But during that time, my family, I brought my family there. And it's funny because I told my partner, please don't let them know that I'm please to surprise them. They didn't know that I'm part of this business. So it was a birthday, my mom and dad's celebration. It was July. And so they went there. I invited them and told them that there's this rentable villa that you can go to somewhere in Bulacan, and then just coordinate, and then I'll do what it's needed in the background, and then you just go there with the whole family. So everyone went. And then my partner was there to welcome them. Then welcome to Christine's resort. And then they were like, oh my God. So that's what's happening in the background.
So they must be beyond proud.
My dad and mom was very happy about it. But what I learned is that I'm not the one who announces everything to the world. It's something that I need to. When we started off building the business and having that available in public, there's nothing that I posted about it. I would just say, something is happening in the other part of the world. But it's not that I tell everyone, I have a resort.
Why?
Yeah. I think I like silence in the background. When I have success, I think it's the success of that particular project that speaks for me.
Okay.
And it's the same thing with the projects that I do. The projects that gets awarded, where Godwin Austen Johnson is now, it's that we are behind the scenes working on it, but we know we led that project. It's the same thing. I think.
So it's a personality.
Because
some people like to be
like, hey, I'm doing this and that. Yeah. So, as I mentioned earlier, I've started my podcast a month ago.
Yes, and you didn't talk about it.
I know. I should be working more on that. And
But how do you find the time? You are associate director at Gage. You have the resort.
I don't know.
You have the restaurant.
No,
you have
I don't
kids,
have time. I don't
small
sleep.
Kids. You do the school run.
I don't have time. I don't sleep at all. Like that's the reality.
So why
I
you
don't
do
sleep that much. It gives me pleasure to do something more. And I've always thought of architecture for me when I was interviewed back at the thing that I went into architecture was because I wanted to leave something behind past me, behind my lifetime. So it's the same thing with the things that I do. So you have the resort, you have the podcast, recording is out there, my voice is out there. And you have the children's book that it's been published since July, but it's all right. So whatever talent that I have, I'm trying to maximize it and make sure that it's out there. Oh, maybe that's the secret to success, is that even no one knows what you're doing, you keep on doing it. Because that gives me the pleasure that I have accomplished something. So I've been an artist when World Art Dubai 2020, I was named as one of the emerging artists because I did painting over COVID times. And then it got, people will notice it. And then now an illustrator, there's a second children's book that is out there. It's in collaboration with Julia Johnson, a wonderful children's writer who loved the sketches that I did, and now it's out there. The resort is there. And then recently, out of me not being able to sleep at nighttime, I just thought, why should I have this recording of myself whenever something is happening during the life of an architect. It's about that. It's me having a meeting with myself, and I record this just to keep track of the things that I was thinking. Amazing. And then I just realized, well, what should I do with all of this recording? upload it.
Yes, it can
And-
serve, it can help.
I upload it because maybe I'm not the only one in that position.
Yeah.
So it's in Spotify. It's named Madam Architects. And it's my creative rants of life, of the lives of being an architect, and knowing that I already have the platform. I've been invited to speak in different stages: UAE, Oman, Riyadh, Saudi, Spain. And for me, if I speak to myself, like a younger self, I wouldn't have thought anyone would listen to me. That's the reality.
What would you tell her,
Oh my!
your younger self?
I will tell her to trust your decisions, because you wouldn't know. Trust your decisions. Whatever you've done till date, whatever your decision, it paved way for me here in the future. I will tell her that be yourself, trust yourself, and embrace what you have. That's it. No doubts. I think I'm the kind of person who, if I wanted to do something, no matter how many people would tell me, don't do that. If I think that that's my goal, then I will definitely do everything in it. Even if I'm not going to sleep 24 hours, I would do that, because that's what keeps me happy, and that's something that I'm aiming for. Why did I mention I also was one time a cake artist?
No.
I have this. Yeah, and I had several clients whom I designed their cakes for them. I'll show you
Let's
after.
see, I'm a bit like you. I'm always creating
Yeah.
a new company, a new idea. I would launch a company every couple of years if it was me. But I also want more time with my kids.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, do I want to grow the company more? And then I'm like, no, at 5 p.m. I want to close my laptop, be with them. So how do you manage?
A typical day in a life.
Yes.
I think. It was challenging when my kids were younger. Obviously, toddler time, they would need more time with you, and that's something that I would have to give. The good thing about with Godwin Austen Johnson is they know that life is happening outside of the company, and I have amazing teammates. Really, I can't be happy enough. My teammates are very supportive, and they know just I have an emergency at home, and they would say, go. They would literally push you, be with your family, and go to your emergency, and that's it. And I don't have to worry about our administration. It's very easy to speak to. Our HR, it's a very good culture that we have in there, and which is actually helpful that I was able to shine through individually, even within the pool of the company. So at home, a typical day life is like a dance between me and my husband. We have a nanny. We just had a nanny about 2 years back, which is really, really amazing. But she's going to UK to look after her grandchild. So now there's this worry about unseen things. But my kids are not toddlers anymore. And I believe they're also smart, both of them. They have received principal awards, so that's really nice. So excited and proud about it. But
in the genes.
It's just giving them the opportunity to look after themselves and be responsible. My son is 12 years old, and when you speak to him, I was told he is genius. There was this tracking in the school, and we received a memo from the school that your child, we think she's genius. He is genius, and some part is higher than the normal IQ. So I would have to be careful in how to speak to him, because I don't know this kind of, but my daughter is also something that when I speak to her, she would understand right away and she would get it. So I'm giving them the opportunity to be responsible. Yes, I've spoken to my husband. Yeah, we'll try it off without the nanny and see how happens. Morning might be a dance wherein someone has to cook, someone has to help the kids get ready, and then until everything settles down and they're off, and then you have the lunch boxes and all the snacks prepared. Office is office. That's a time, full concentration on things that is needed in the office. And I also lead the innovation and strategy or the marketing in the office recently. So as you can see, we've been more active on that. Aside from that, running projects. several projects at the time, different clients at the time. But I think what I've learned through the masters in Spain and knowing that business mindset is that you really have to delegate and you really have to prioritize what's important. Yeah, you have the priority over the things that is well needed and the things that can be done later on or things that can be handled by my teammates. And so yeah, I think it's a full 360 of everything that you need to juggle. But I think what helps me where I am now, or with all the responsibilities that I have, is that I am able to communicate and relate to everyone that I work with. I am very sincere whenever I speak to all of them, and I will my teammates, I will protect them, and I will literally teach them that these are the advices and the tricks and the tips that you can get through the experience that I had. And I've been advising them, please, maybe after this one, we'll have a book of all the tips and tricks that I've been giving them. So
it seems lucky to have you as a manager.
Oh, I have several.
But I think
comments,
it's on the same topic because you are a leader and
Yes.
you are a manager.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the stereotypes about Filipino? I think that's one of the reason I wanted to have you on the show, because a lot of clients have this idea that Filipino would be more on the technical side
Yes.
and not necessarily on the leadership side, and they won't be able to manage a team of, let's say, Western, and that's... I hate that part. That sounds so bad to me. I'm trying to break them, but please help us understand.
Yeah. So absolutely, it is happening, but every time a Filipino steps into the spotlight, that means we're breaking that stereotype, and that gives us the opportunity to shine. It's a stereotype that I don't agree as well, because obviously Filipinos are very creative. But there's the type that would keep you at the behind the scenes. I had that experience before. Like all the drawings that I do, and I've told them that, look, it's just a filler in every presentation. It's because of the accent that we have, or me going through and having to accept that, yeah, I'm one in 13 men joining into another meeting. So on my part, there's so many stereotypes that I have to crash. And then being a Filipina, being a woman in real estate in the industry, and now being a mom of two, running all this. But what I've learned is that it's the consistency. Architecture or any industry doesn't run on gender. It's about your talent, your creativity, your skill. If you develop that and be consistent, show yourself, be consistent in everything that you deliver, I think all those stereotypes fades away. And as I mentioned, Filipinos, I have met several Filipinos who's been leading different companies and different industries within UAE. We need that. We need a platform to empower that. And I think we are doing our best now, and we're helping out each other. I do remember this particular one. Yeah, you familiar with Dubai chocolate and the mastermind behind that, or I may say architect behind that, the dessert architect is a Filipino, and I know him well. And I've been discussing with him after his Shark Tank episode. I met him over lunch and told him that's the only thing. We, in our culture, we're very humble not to tell the world of what good things we're doing. It's either in the culture, there's the feeling that you're always humble, like say yes to everything. You please other people. I think that's part of our culture.
Yeah.
I think it is, because you could see in the meeting, you would have a meeting. I know I've experienced this. Many other nationalities would speak out and oppose you right away in that meeting. But you won't hear that with Filipinos.
Yeah.
They would respect what you will say, even though they don't agree with that. And after the meeting, that's when they say, yeah, this is what I think is right. Because I think it's a cultural thing.
So that's slowing down, right?
It's slowing down. And now
They should speak up more.
I think Filipinos are gaining that traction and gaining that boost in moral and boost in a boost in knowing that you have the voice over. And in recent years, many different from many years back, because I've been in the industry for almost 2 decades, more than 2 decades actually. 22 years. Oh my God. But do I have to say that? But it's changing. Filipinos are empowered nowadays. Like recently, we had a painting up in the Louvre in Abu Dhabi, and it's been celebrated, right? So the Filipinos' narrative within UAE or any other countries are changing, and it's because we're finding our voice. And individually, yes, and then now collectively, I think we're gathering all together and finding a way that, hey, Filipinos are not meant for behind the scenes. We are the creative voices behind the scenes. Yes, we can do that, but we can also deliver. Not just we can deliver the vision, and we can also be. It's more of the stereotype will be, yes, Filipinos will behind do the drawings behind, and there's someone else who will present it. No, I don't think so. Now it's changing. The narrative is changing, and we know the power that we have already, and that we're gathering together actually. And we pitch, and there was when I have this group or a community. We call it Circolo Uno. And once a month we gather, and this is composed of different Filipinos who owns different companies in the industry, and be it in television, be it in marketing, in business, different side, architecture, interior design. And the main thing that we gather and we speak about is that how we really love to please other people, and which is like a service industry kind of box. But at the same time, we are not able to, knowing that there's many of us already at this level, that we understand the power that we have, and we understand that we can make a change and change the narrative on that. It's a good and powerful our ambassador and our consul general in here are very, very supportive of all the Filipinos. I can't tell you how much it's a privilege to having met them, and it's a privilege to know that they really are doing their best to support us and really to amplify the voices of the Filipinos. So I think, the more Filipinos, or the more of us stepping on the spotlight and claiming this, that we're not just behind the vision, we can also make things happen, the more the stereotype will fade away. Consistency, delivery, and being there. I'd say.
I love that, and I think your voice is heard already, and I think thank you for doing this for everyone, not only Filipino. There are lots of other nationality with the same struggles, or women, as you say, or some. It's just not only cultural; it's only the way we've been brought up. Like I was a people pleaser as well. And I think it takes a long time to change, and especially more when it's in your culture and it's everything you've been taught. I mean, you think it's the right thing to do, unless there are people like you to show them that there are other way around. So, but can you share a moment where you felt this discrimination? Because although I know you support each other and all, but I'm sure it happened to you.
Oh yeah, definitely. One of our clients, quite in a position, quite a known architect actually. It's stung, and it's something that I use as a benchmark, is because the situation was there was a presentation. My boss at the time had to travel, so I am leading the project. But this particular client doubted my ability to do the presentation for a high stakes client, primarily because I'm not a native English speaker, and that really stung. Good enough as we have a good support system and working culture within Godwin Austen Johnson. So my boss at the time spoke to the client and told him that, look, there's no one else who's better to present the project other than Christine. It has to be her, no one else. And true enough, I went to the presentation, It was a meeting of 15 men, and I'm the only woman, and I'm the one presenting the whole project. It's a master plan project. And this is something that I get to deal with in architecture. Maybe interior design is different. You would find more women in interior design.
I think so.
For architecture, it's challenge. That's why I have to be 2 steps ahead already. And I've accepted that challenge long before I tried architecture, or I decided to go for architecture as my university degree. Yeah, true enough, that presentation went well. Before the presentation, I spoke to the client. And he was very appreciative that I was representing the company. And he said, I'm very happy that women are stepping out of the office. It's the first time that I had a meeting with a woman from your company. So that gave me a moral boost. And he said, I'm very happy that you are leading this project. So yeah, it went well. And true enough now, life has a funny way of turning things around. This particular known architect is now following me on my social media account.
So do you think it went well because you communicated before the presentation and you kind of break the, like, I'm the lead architect and all, and if you just walk in the room and start your presentation and they don't know the background, they wouldn't give you the respect you deserve?
Not really. It's because the client that I had, it was a client representative.
Yeah.
And he already is blocking me. And I've had several meetings with him prior the main presentation to this high stakes client. It's that barrier was there. And he was saying, no, it has to be a native speaker. Christine cannot deliver as the same as someone who speaks natural English. Yeah, it's when you start off a project.
She's 90% of the country, 99. Yeah. Not English speakers. So
yeah, exactly. Speaker. So, but if when you start off a project in the bids and the RFPs, it includes already who will be part of those projects. You have the organization chart that specifies who will be the team leader, who will be the architect, who will be the team who will work on it on the admin side, commercial side, technical side. So for the client knows already who they're dealing with. So it's just on that particular moment that this particular client representative prefers someone who speaks nicer English. But it was a success at the end of the day, and we had a good run on that particular project. And yeah, I think that was a good learning pathway for me. That discrimination is still there. But the solidarity that we had in the company gave me the moral boost that, okay, whatever this is what's important. I need to deliver. And it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, as I mentioned, architecture or whatever we produce doesn't look at gender or race. Like, you wouldn't say, oh, who designed this building? Or is a woman designed this building? Or which country did this building is there? Or all this building doesn't stand up the test of time just because a certain gender or a race built it or designed it. It's not like that. Concrete and steel doesn't, concrete and steel or whatever, or wood doesn't know that it has to be there, or it doesn't stand the test of time just because a certain gender or a certain nationality was behind it. It's not like that, I think.
Beautiful. Sorry, so we took a bit longer on your journey because I think it's brilliant and you are a role model, I'm sure, for lots of people. But so let's go back to career. Yes. Now let's say you have to hire for your team. What type of candidate are you looking for?
It's good. Recently, I'm running through some CVs in the office, and I was looking at several portfolios, definitely. The way CVs are submitted, you get to see who has given that much time in their portfolio. All the tiny details, the way it's presented, obviously, that gets the attraction already. And when we speak to them, for me, I think it's a curiosity. It has to be there. Creativity would be there as well. Normally, architects creative.
During interview now.
During interview, it would be the curiosity.
So if they ask a lot of questions,
I would appreciate them asking questions and not just waiting for us to ask them questions. We would always look at some spark. There is this spark that we're looking at. What do you do on your free time? Like, what sets you apart from everyone else? I
are
have
there any good
plus
and bad
points,
answer for the free time? If someone, if they are scared to say what they do in their free time, or they can say anything, it will be nice as long as they are passionate.
I would, yeah, exactly. And I would also look at the portfolio. Sometimes the portfolio would have in the academic projects or whatever buildings they have built, but then at the end, they're always, sometimes there are portfolios that has what they do in their free time. Could it be photography, hand sketches, or vlogging? I don't know. I feel that adding in your personality within your portfolio adds up as well. Because as a company that I'm working for now, it's Godwin Austen Johnson. They will look at people who has been there for 20 years, 18 years, and even myself are not just busy alone working on drawings and drawings and drawings. Some of us are into gardening, some of us are into traveling, some of us are into Ironman. So it's there that you're into music.
It's fine, even if they say I'm
It
into
is- it should
Ironman
be.
or I'm into gardening.
I think
I mean,
that's
it doesn't have to be an artistic part.
Oh my God!
It doesn't have to be
because
photography or sketches.
You're not just hiring to fill in a position. You're hiring someone who will be fitting in your culture.
Yeah. Okay.
So we always tell that, okay, we'll give you time to get to know the culture. You would have this period that it's either two ways. You get a customized, or you like the culture that we have in here, but it has to be at the same time the culture has to like you too. So that's you have the freedom for that. It's a bit flexibility to show your personality in. Within the interview itself, you could see when they present their portfolio, you could see someone who can present it like brewing a cup of tea. It's very easy, smooth, but you would see someone who is having difficulty in presenting the project that is there on the portfolio, a nicely presented portfolio, but then when they present it, it's so technical that you won't understand. See, we have to find someone that would be able to present it like it's just brewing tea, but it's a technical information, because that's what clients are. When you find architects that can turn a technical, very challenging project and speak it out, something that could be relative and something could be communicated directly to the client that would be easier to understand. I think that's part where creativity comes in, curiosity comes in.
So before the interviews, they should practice how to present the portfolio.
I think, yeah.
Even for a CAD draftsman or someone who will be very, very technical just doing the CAD, they still need to be able to.
We do have several ways of hiring. We have, you have the review of the CVs, you have the interview, and we have the exam as well. So the exam takes care of the technical parts, but it's also finding a spot for that particular person on which team they will enter or which team they will join in within the company. Okay. So within the company, we have the technical team. We also have the design team, the concept, and we also have the team who's on site. So depending on what results of that particular interview and the screening, that's when we find if you're suited on this team in here or that team. That's it. Straightforward. That's it. But once you get in the culture, I appreciate all the feedback that we've been hearing that this is very different from where I've been, different in a good way, because you feel that you really belong. And I would always smile that we already have several boomerangs. I would call them boomerangs because they left.
Oh.
And they came back.
Okay.
They left, but they came back. They came back. Then now they're staying, which is why whenever I say I've been with them for 18 years, but it's not just me. A lot of us, the retention rate that we have is 10 years.
Wow.
See
Yeah,
what kind of culture we have.
People
that is a culture that they have set in the company.
Yeah, I need to understand this culture better now because we want that model.
You want that?
Because especially in this industry,
Yeah.
there is a lot of, we blame the new generation, but I'm sure it's not only their fault, it's the
not.
company culture, but lots of people are in their CV 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year.
Yes. Yes, 1 year or 2 years. But even the new hires that we have, you would think some of them used to be interns that I've mentored, and now they're after graduation. Yeah, we call them out. Why? It's because we found the spark in them, and they fit in the culture, and that's it. And we try to, the management as much as they kept me, is the same effort that has been given to everyone in the company.
Do you have some remote or flexibility? Because I know that's been asked a lot by.
We used to, but now no.
Okay.
We had some challenges over the years, health-wise, with some of our colleagues, and at the time, Jason is the managing director of the company, and he's an Ironman champion. He's very buff and healthy. Whenever he talks about sports, I would literally tell him that I feel lazy just speaking to you. But he is very organized. And he made sure that, we're not going to have the work from home. We have the flexibility. We can if we need to, but it's not forced and pressured on all. And you're not even pressured to come in 8 o'clock in the morning as long as you finish your delivery. It's the quality versus the time that you spend in the office. With the health issues that we had recently in the office, the mandate is no more working from home. Everyone shuts off. By 5:30, you have to finish. Be looked at your efficiency. I think that's where we are. And we are where we are now. Recently, we got featured in Arch Daily.
Wow.
And it's really something. That was recently only. And then, but where we are now with all the projects that we're working on, it's because it's a collaborative effort, and the vision or the KPIs that our management has set up, it's successful, and we're working on keeping that culture. We don't compare ourselves with any other companies. It's just that this is Catch, this is what we're good at, and this is what we're gonna be looking after. Even the same thing with how they treat me or how I treat the company. It's that given that, I told you, it's like us allowed to individually shine, and then together we'll shine brighter. I think that maybe shine bright like a diamond kind of thing.
I love this. I think it's a nice way to finish. Our conversation is going long. Before we finish, I have some quick fire questions.
Yeah, sure.
Which you just have to answer what comes to mind so we get to know you even better. I always do this with my guests. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Early morning or late nights?
Both. I have to do both. Motherhood.
Sketching by hand or digital tools?
Both as well. I've learned to harness both to make use of my time, and
Dream design destination you'd love to visit?
I haven't thought of that, to be honest. I haven't thought of that.
Anything comes to mind? The first country?
Ooh. Potentially dream destination. Maybe Greece.
Okay. I think I see lots of architects in Greece nowadays. Maybe you've been influenced on this one. If you weren't in design, what career would you see yourself in?
I'll be a painter. I'll be an artist.
Biggest guilty pleasure after a long work day?
Ice cream.
One word your colleagues would use to describe you?
An ate. Ate is like an older sister.
I know, I call everyone ate because of my nanny.
Yeah.
So everyone, even my daughter, I call her ate.
I think that it's because they know that I'll be supporting them, and I'm not. I've been told my leadership is soft. But because it's soft in a way that it's not masculine. That this is what you need to do.
But that's interesting, and it's still work, right? You can be a soft leader?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah. It's working for me. And because I see relationship as something that I built over time. Forget about the buildings. The legacy is with the people or the relationship that I keep and the relationship that I built. I think that's more than that, 18 years. how I am able to communicate with my past clients and my past bosses and the past colleagues that they know that it's sincere. So they would call me ate. It's like an older sister kind of thing.
That's amazing, because there is a misconception that a leader should be tough and strong. Even women should bring their masculine energy on the table.
Yeah, it's already the stereotype that, as I told, whatever works for me is I see that it's working, and
it's working.
Yeah, but so it comes up naturally. That's who I am as a person. I might be tough on decisions based on the projects, but outside of work and even during the relationship, you can see how sincere it is. This is me and this is my personality, and I'm keeping it. I'm not changing it for you, because accept it as it is, but we can deliver this. I don't have to be tough for, I'm the ate.
Lovely. Best piece of advice you ever received?
This would come from Brian, the chairman of our company. When I entered the company, I've been hiding my sketches, but I did my sketch, and he said, "Oh, I think we found a future in here." And then I told him that, "Look, Brian, I want to speak in panels. I think I have, with all the learnings and experience that I have, I think I have the experience to share. But my worry is that my voice is soft." Brian had some issues in his throat before, and it was cured already. And he told me, "Christine," and I had the doubt, because it was the first time as well I'm going to be presenting in front of the clients, because my seniors were moved to another company. So now, instead of me hiding behind the scenes, I am now at the forefront. And that was my real worry, that my voice is really soft. And he said, "I am telling you this coming from someone that used to have a loud voice, and now, because of some issues, he had softer voice. And he told me, the softer your voice goes, the more that people listen to you. The room will be silent because they will listen to you." And that's a huge thing that until now that I am keeping, because yes, I have a soft voice. And so you try to listen, you be quiet and listen to me. Because whenever I speak something, this is based from years of experience, and I'm not guessing. This is me from the years of training that I had, be it from being a draftsman, being an architect, being in business, being in finance, being in this and that, student, mother, all of this collated, and this is in front of you. My voice is soft and you listen. Watch me. That's that.
I love it. And it's true, even when you're doing public speaking, for example, if you lose the attention, just pause.
Yes.
And because it's silent, they will all be like, trying to hear more.
Yes.
So it's so true.
Yes.
I love it. What's next on your bucket list?
I would want to have my own book published under my name. Recently, I had this book in collaboration. I would also want to travel. I want to travel, but it's quite challenging with schools, and I have to schedule it. I would. My aim is maybe have a consultancy, or maybe Gaj will have its office in the Philippines. I hope so. He is now moving into the international realm. So that's it. I'm able to lead a team. I'm able to hopefully run business. I've got the business strategy and the background on business, so I think that's the way to go forward. But also keeping all the relationships that I had throughout the careers that I have. And retirement plan, maybe what I was telling my colleagues in the office, retirement plan for me is just lying down, drinking my coffee, and maybe writing some books, painting here and there. But it's about relaxing.
Really? I don't see you like this. I think you want to do and do. You
I
are a
might
doer.
change things. You know how we are. Like we change our
Yeah,
minds. But
true.
but where I am now, that everything is just so busy.
Yeah, I
That's
understand.
what behind my mind. I'm thinking, yeah, I want sleep, and that's it. So maybe as of now, that's it. But it could change because, as you know, whatever is unseen, it could change. But as long as I work towards, on a series of platforms, that this is what I'm gonna get to do to get into that vision and to get into that spot. Yeah.
Anything we didn't discuss today and you think is important for our listeners?
Coming from someone who had lots of stereotypes that I have to break, from being a woman, from being one woman in a 15-man room, from being a mother to generally being being unique in a pool of a male-dominated arena. I think what worked is doing, when you don't have that experience, you don't have that exposure, and you don't have anything yet, what you're trying to do is to fit in yourself within the space. But the reality is you have to push the space away to accommodate you. Don't rely on don't wait for others to pick you up. Like don't wait for others. You have to do something yourself. In business, we have this thing called proof of concept, that in order for any business to be investable, there would have to be the proof of concept. That you have already have the traction, you have something that is worth investing for. So try to look in yourself. I know it's a cliche when they say, if there's a door that couldn't open, knock harder, or maybe build a window, then why not design the whole house? but yeah, you work on yourself. Analyze or see what you're good at, and don't move away from that. For me, I know it was a pivotal moment having my daughter in, but I knew from the beginning that I am set to do something different, and I'm not going to be this and that. But even so, when others are telling you not to do it, push for it, because at the end of the day, you're not pleasing them, it's pleasing yourself. That at the end of the day, for me now, my KPI within the day is that within the day, when I go and meet my kids, I would have something memorable to tell them, that this is what I've done whilst I was away from you during the 8 hours time. And I know for a fact that that 8 hours, I did something creative that they will be proud of. That I would tell them that this is what I've done today. Do you imagine? I'm already in a podcast with Esther. Esther, who I used to follow on LinkedIn, like that.
I told my son he's gonna see me on TV after today.
Yeah.
Also,
They don't know, and when they saw over in Google, they tried to Google me. And my son was like, "Mommy, are you famous?" I said, "No, my son. No, I'm just doing whatever."
you're famous in architecture, for sure.
See, this is the same response that I get. No. But yeah, it's I do need to work on that and really claim it. That what matters is it's the amount of people that I inspire. Being a Filipino, being a woman, whether industry, real estate, construction, and design, and being a leader and also a mom to my kids and the family, that yes, you can have everything, you can juggle. Although I don't sleep that much, which is part of the reality, but I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm able to harmonize everything. It's not a balance, definitely. Never is a balanced work like 50-50, but I am playing it like an orchestra, that one time you have this playing, one time there, but together it's like a harmonious melody. I don't know. I like all these things that compare things stuff just to make it easier for my kids to understand. Yeah, to explain it to them. So that's it.
Beautiful. I think it's a beautiful end. Thank you so much, Christine,
Thank you
for
so much.
sharing your journey and for your time.
I appreciate it. And thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for being a platform for us. And yeah, the amount of questions and the way the talking points are written, it was well thought of, and I appreciate that. And I really look forward to communicating more, and I hope your listeners or viewers will find it inspiring. And feel free to reach me out. I think I'm available.
Yes, I will put your details as well. You go
Yeah,
follow Madame Architect.
Oh, thank you. And also Godwin Austen Johnson, who's been very supportive of the things that I do. Yeah, and I do hope that business plan that they have is something that could be duplicated.
Seems like a good model.
It's not just me. You should interview the other colleagues that I have. They might be a different field of view or ideas, but you get to see
bring them on the show.
you get to see the culture that we have, that they're allowed to shine individually, and yeah, it's a safe place for creative one too. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.